Good morning. My name is Steve Kraut, and I co-own a local communications company, Triple C Communications Incorporated. We're a 49-and-a-half-year-old company, almost 50 years old. Be 50 come next June. And as I got older, started looking at alternatives to pass the business along to someone else, and quickly figured out that the family members involved and really the top employees are not business owners and really enjoy being employees, but they don't want to step up and do that. So Paul and I have been in communication for about 5 years, I think, and thinking about it. And this spring, some opportunities came up in our industry, and I kind of soul searched a little and said, I'm really not eager to take on the risk, responsibility, and extra work to do that, but there's a tremendous opportunity that's available, and I really didn't want to capitalize on it. But I felt it might be a good time to pass along somebody who had some more energy and could do that and take advantage of the opportunities. So Paul and I started talking about valuations and how much we could get out of it, and obviously you always want to get the maximum that you can, but Paul was pretty good about being realistic and bringing me back to the earth as far as what the pricing might be, and I think he hit that right on the head, and he's actually proved to me that he can take my expectations and actually exceed them. So we've been doing this now for a few months, and I got to say Paul got right to work. He filmed a video that I frankly wasn't that excited about being a video star to do this, but it's certainly worked out very well. We've got a buyer not under contract, but we have a letter of intent in place and expect to be under contract hopefully next week and off to closing in 2 or 3 weeks following that. It's happened very quickly. I got to say, after we signed with Paul and gave him the go-ahead to do this, he jumped right on it, got the message out to people, and we were introduced to some very serious qualified buyers. Paul pre-qualified everybody, and we didn't wind up talking to any looky-loos that frankly were just looking for some kind of a business that they might start and looking for some ideas. Everybody that we talked to was well-funded, had good intentions, and were serious buyers. They weren't goofballs. So the one buyer that we've settled with was really enthused about the video, and he felt that was an excellent way. He's been looking for a business to buy now for years, and when he saw our business, he had some experience, just a little. He's actually licensed in some of the work that we do, so he understood it. He identified with it. He looked over the financials and was astounded we could do as well as we have with a small group of people. We're a 9-10 person company, so we're not huge. We've got some nice assets. But I've got to say, Paul was there helping negotiate for us. He was a good advocate for our company and pretty tough negotiator, and he's been able to get the price that we've been asking, which honestly was more than what we originally listed the company for. Paul's been able to do better after he's gotten a little more exposure to what we do and what the opportunities are. I think he saw that the value was better than we initially had talked about. And we're my wife and I, which are the company owners, are very pleased with the price we've got. We're going to be carrying back some of the mortgage, but I'm very comfortable with the buyer. I've gotten to know him pretty well, look at his finances. He's a good, solid buyer, and I think he can do a good job. And I'm going to stay on after the closing and help him get started with the business for a period of time and possibly even work part-time in the business, doing sales and some other things until I'm ready to fully retire. I actually hadn't thought that I would sell the business. I'm 61, and I thought possibly I could wait until 65, 66, and then start looking at it. And honestly, I think this is a much better way to do it. I'm still plenty healthy and active in the business, and can continue with the new buyer and help him be successful, because honestly his success is going to pay me the payments on down the road. So I'm interested in him being viable. This is a small company business my dad started in 1965, and I would like to see the business succeed, get better, and obviously maintain the name, and it's a bit of family pride to have this thing go on and be successful in the future. And I feel like we've got that worked out, and it looks like it's going to work very well. If it doesn't, we have some other buyers that are serious buyers that are interested. that we're still talking with, but at this point, obviously, we're going with the strong buyer that we have. So I would recommend that anybody that sees this can be very happy with Paul. Good, honest guy. He's done what he said he would do. Jumped right on it. He started very quickly after we signed it, and he's been there every time I've needed to make a phone call and ask a question. He's been there. He's had the answers on how the financing works. He's been able to give us good referrals on some professionals to help get this thing down the road, and he's been able to help the buyer with those items. He's got some good CPAs and attorneys involved, and they seem to be very reasonable, work at a reasonable price, and I think the net on this is going to be really good for my wife and I, and it'll give us our retirement, and we'll hopefully have some employment after the fact as long as we want to, and if not, we'll be able to go on vacation and not worry about what's happening back on the home front here. So, to close, I can't say enough about what Paul's done. He's been a true professional, and the buyers that are involved like him and have opened up to him and, given him what he needs so that he can get the non-disclosures in place. We're obviously very concerned about confidentiality. We didn't want this to leak out to the troops here before we're ready to release it, and he has maintained that to my knowledge. We've been working on this now for several months, and the subject has never come up as far as what's going on. And we hope to be able to keep it that way all the way through closing. And as we work through the closing here, I think there's a better chance that it may leak out. But by that point, it really is immaterial. I think the buyer's in bed and ready to go, and so it should work out very well. So we haven't closed yet. We're hoping to do that maybe within a month or a little bit less. And so I'll have a good report to let you know about after the closing. Anything else that you think might help, Paul? Or nope? All right. Well, thank you for your time, and good luck with your business sale.